Test, test, test. I think we're going live here. What's going on, everybody? Patrick over here at Ghost Picks ATS. I do believe we're starting a live stream. There will be a couple topics talked about today. We'll talk about main play. Free play will be in the Duke versus Ohio State game, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time tonight. That should be the game of the day with Duke newly at the top as the number one seed after knocking off Gonzaga. We will be talking about that game as well as some other things. Real quick, I'm going to check, make sure this thing is up and live. Can never tell. Let me see. Yeah, we're in there. So, hop in the chat if you want to. We're going to be talking about a couple different things today. We got NCAA basketball on tap. We got NCAA football this weekend with conference championship week. And then we also got some NFL, as always. Actually, some NFL. We're going to do that in a later video tonight. But this one will be a quick one. Or not too quick, but we'll be talking about Duke versus Ohio State mainly and why that line actually is what it is. Anybody who watched Duke play versus Gonzaga is probably shaking their head licking their chops at the chance to get them -2.5 versus Ohio State. Not so fast. We'll be talking about that one here in a little bit. But first, a couple things. So you can see around the sides. This is the first live stream with new software all updated. So, you can see the things on the packages on the side. The special discount code on the bottom, GPP Live. You get 20% off of any package on my site. And that will be in the description, which I'll do right now. But first, talk about this weekend's games. Last night, Russell Wilson versus the Washington football team. This game came down to the final play. Wasn't too surprising. Both these teams struggling, fighting for the playoffs. All we did was have a teaser in that one on the Seahawks, which got in late. That was at +7.5 the night before. The line flips over. Goes to Washington, and Washington actually pulls it out, covers by the hook. So if it had any action in that game, it came down to the last play. But solid weekend, great comeback after Thanksgiving. Losing the Bears by that half point, that was a brutal loss. But double top tier on Sunday with the Jets and the Jets and the Packers. Anytime you're taking the Jets as your top tier play, that's what you say. Big nuts, big nuts. That's what we got over here. So speaking of big nuts. Buckeyes, Ohio State at home versus Duke, 9:30 tonight. That is probably the game of the day, and it is without a doubt the stinkiest line that I've seen in a while. So figured might as well hop on here and talk about it. That's what I love to do. So why is this line 2.5? Well, you look at Ohio State. E.J. Liddell is probably the best guard that Duke has played this year. Obviously, Gonzaga has the two trees inside with Timmy and I'm drawing a blank on his name, Stretch out there. But I'm a firm believer. We have one play going on in college basketball this year, and it is for Duke to win the national championship. That was the only thing we had. With Coach K, with Dickie V having cancer, some things outside of basketball as well as on the court. Paulo Banchero might be the best player I've ever seen. Swear by it. I think he will be the best NBA player, barring injury, that we ever see. He's a mix of LeBron James, Kevin Durant. I've thought he's been great for a while, but you never know until you play against the top competition. And what he did against Gonzaga shows. I mean, he's got it all. He is the best player. I think he will be the best player we maybe ever see. He can shoot it like Durant off the pull-up dribble. He's 6'11", 250. He's got the size of LeBron. He can dribble, pass, does it all. It's insane. But Ohio State, experience. E.J. Liddell's got he averages 20+. The rest of the team is a classic college team, almost like a Jimmer Fredette BYU team. One guy leads the way. He's got it in his hands at all times. And he's going to be attacking that Duke defense nonstop. And that shows with the Ohio State free throw percentage. I mean, they get to the line more than just about anybody in college basketball early on in the season. And that's against a tough schedule. So they've played against some top competition. Nobody as good as Duke, but at the same time, Duke has only played Gonzaga, and we actually had Duke in that one. That was just a pure matchup game. I mean, you got guys like Paulo Banchero going up against Stretch out there. That's a physical dominance that I haven't seen anything like that in a while. What he was doing out there was phenomenal, and they got hurt. Williams came in for Duke, and he was dominating himself. So Duke coming off that big win. Highly sought after. The betting public will be hammering Duke tonight. But, Ohio State, not an easy place to play. Last time a non-conference team came up in there ranked number 1 was back in 2018, and Ohio State beat them by 18. Now it's a completely different team, but that arena will be rocking. Same thing as Duke. They're out there camping Monday night for a Tuesday game. Guaranteed that place will be rocking. There's people camping outside in the snow. They're dedicated. Playing against the number 1 team, coming there. It's going to be the toughest venue for Duke. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ohio State win this game, give them the business the whole game. Now, the talent of Duke may pull it out in the end, maybe, a game-winning shot. So we'll be taking the 2.5 instead of the money line. I think that's just a smart play. But definitely a little sprinkle on that Ohio State money line first half. I think it's going to be a tough place to play. And for Duke to overcome that, it'll have to be with talent and talent alone, which Paolo Banchero and company do have, but on the road, I will be taking Ohio State plus the 2.5, and I think it's actually a phenomenal play. Ohio State played against some top, so like last game out, we'll talk right here about a couple things as to why. So that's why the number's off and whatnot. But Ohio State's probably the best shooting team that their Duke has faced this year. They can do it all. E.J. Liddell leads the way, spreads the court, and they will let it fly. Now, whether or not those shots go in are key. So in Ohio State's wins this year, the win against Seton Hall, they shot 50% from 3, cruised to a win. Last game out against Florida, they actually only shoot like 20% against Florida, yet they only lose by 3. So, positive regression there. Expect something better at home out of Ohio State. And if they're able to shoot from the outside, they bring Duke out. And once again, pressure. Ohio State likes getting to the line. They draw fouls as much as anyone in college basketball. So this is simply, you see it all the time, basketball, football. I'm a big fan of not just looking at a team, but more so matchups. And as good as Duke's matchup was against Gonzaga, Ohio State actually matches up pretty well against Duke. Gonzaga loves to push the pace, and that went right into Duke's how Duke likes to play. I mean, you saw they were picking up the pace, getting down the court, getting in transition, and shooting lights out. At Ohio State, though, Ohio State's going to cool you out, take some tempo, and kind of just like sit back and take up the shot clock and get good shots, try to draw fouls, get you in foul trouble. They've got some big guys who like to block shots, and that goes hand in hand with drawing extra fouls, getting to the line, and putting good players in foul trouble. So that's something to keep an eye on tonight, but I will be taking Ohio State plus the 2.5. It's first time live over here. I'm just about out of breath after that one. I'm winging it. So if anybody has any questions or comments, you can hop on into the chat over here, and we can talk about just about anything you want, at least a little, whatever. So I'm thinking next up, we'll probably talk about this weekend. We got a little bit of college football between Alabama and Georgia, the game of the week. I will go ahead and give you a free play in the Big Ten Championship while we're on here, though. I'll be doing that here in just a little bit. But as you can see around the screen, all kinds of promo codes and whatnot, everything just about is on sale. We're going to use that GPP Live for the first time. We're doing a live stream over here, so 20% off any package off of the final price that you see. So if the 4-week, 1-month NFL, that will not be $150. Take 20% off that, and that'll be down to $120. And that's the kind of math we do over here. Quick math in the head, 20% of $150. But anyways, that's just a little joke aside. Football has been absolutely dominating. 6-4 plus 5 units over the last 10 games, and that does not even encapsulate how we've been doing this year. So 60% is actually below, so actually brought us down a little bit. But top plays continue to hit. Primetime games, minus that Ravens-Browns one, the 4 INT performance from Lamar Jackson. Usually get that one covered, no problem. Even with the 3.5, still look like we were going to be all right there. But a holding penalty on the Ravens actually forces them to kick a field goal to win by 6, and we missed that one on the final play pretty much. And then the same thing goes for Bucs and Colts. So, the 2 losses right there, both on the final play, looking at either a push or a win. So definitely on the right side of things, and there's no doubt about that. And then we got NCAA football as well. So NCAA football is about half of what I do, or as far as NFL. NFL is it's the moneymaker. It's the grand thing. I spend most time, my models, everything are most accurate with NFL. College football is very high variance. Beginning of the year struggled, and mainly it was first halves versus full games. I mean, we're leaning more so toward the first halves, and first halves weren't quite hitting, but full games they were. And that variance comes back, and we've been on the right side for the last month or so. This past weekend we had 2 top-tier plays in college football. We had Michigan over the Ohio State Buckeyes. So Ohio State's coming up in some top plays here. But we had Michigan plus the 7 at home over Ohio State in college football. That was our top-tier play on Saturday. It was our only play on Saturday, and that was the big one and the big house. That matchup mixed with weather. That's the kind of stuff that favors a running team. Catching the 7.5, that was easy breezy from the start. And then Friday night, we actually had the North Carolina Tar Heels as our top-tier play. Only play on Friday was North Carolina over NC State as a 6.5-point underdog. That was almost had the money line. We actually didn't take the money line, and for those kind of reasons. I said in my write-up, I do believe this is a game that State will win by 1-6. UNC just they have had a problem closing out games. I said it in my write-up, and sure enough, it comes into fruition. And North Carolina up 10 points with 2 minutes to go in the game. NC State scores 2 touchdowns and wins the game, but does not cover. North Carolina covers for us plus 6.5. So top 2 college football plays of the weekend, both cash, and we are looking to take that right on into college football week again. With the select amount of games this weekend, we will be very precise. This is when we get into it. Vegas only has 10 games on the table. They are pinpoint. They're all over those games. We will be pinpoint all over those games. Free play, we'll go ahead and say I'm taking Iowa versus Michigan. I just said Michigan was my top play purely because of a matchup in the weather, in the big house. All those things favored the Michigan Wolverines. Everything off the field, every factor that you could imagine besides just strictly talent-based went into Michigan's favor, and that's why I love Michigan. This week, neutral field in Indiana, Iowa is scrappy. Iowa is one of these teams. I don't like Iowa. I've lost Iowa many times in the beginning of the year, and then I started getting on the right side of Iowa. Iowa has a lot of turnover luck. They dominate the turnover margin, and that's how they win the games. Maybe the biggest thing that I can say about Iowa is maybe my favorite player in college football right now, Riley Moss. He's the cornerback for Iowa. If you look at the Iowa's Hawkeyes record with him on the field versus him without, and the same thing as the opponent's numbers. He's a ball hawk. He shuts down one side of the field. He's able to allow the coach Ferretta or whatever to force a funnel on the opposite side of the field and like a coverage zone, while Riley Moss takes away one complete side of the field. He leads the country in like deflections or something like that. He's top up there in interceptions. He sat out 2 games this year. Just so happens to be the 2 games they lost. He lost to Purdue and they lost to Wisconsin. He didn't play either one of those games, and they missed his big playability. Catching the 10.5, 11.5. I think it opened at 11.5. I think it's down to 11, 10.5 right now. So plus 11 ideally, but I don't think that's going to be getting over that. This Michigan offense, sure, they like playing some bully ball, but Iowa it will be ready for it. They're going to be the underdog in the dome. So if Iowa can just keep from the turnovers on the offensive end, they got an old, experienced team. They're going to be looking to keep that game tight. I do believe that 10.5, 11 is too many points, especially for a ball-hawking defense. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cade McNamara throw an INT or 2 against this Iowa defense. They are one of the most ball-hawking defenses. It's insane. You look at the Nebraska game this weekend. I was probably about yay close to putting out a video on the Nebraska Cornhuskers over the Iowa Hawkeyes this last week, but I just didn't. Riley Moss was playing. They get turnovers. This shit happens. And Nebraska, if that line would have been what it should have been, which is probably Nebraska plus, 4, I would have been on Nebraska, but they tried to get a little sharp with it and put Nebraska at -2. They got the sharps versus the squares. The squares won on Iowa. And why did they win? A block punt to the house. I mean, Nebraska's up 2 scores, and then Iowa blocks a punt, and that was about all she wrote after that. They made an epic comeback and actually win the game by 7 and cover. Unbelievable if you're on Nebraska. Nebraska's one of these teams. It's insane. Without a doubt, the best 3-8 team I've ever seen. They've lost to Oklahoma, Michigan, Michigan State, Iowa, all top 10, top 15 teams, and they've lost to them all by less than 10 points, including Ohio State. It's amazing what they've done this year, and amazing that they've only won 3 games. But that's college football for you. Shoot. If you want it. Up there. Nope, wrong side. Getting new at this. All NCAA football and NFL plays plus DFS Thursday through Sunday. Actually, we'll do Monday Night Football too. Why not? So Thursday through Monday if you're on here watching this one. Just that link will be in the description or in the comments after this video. All these packages will be linked in the description in the comments. Let's see. Other than that, I don't know. Got anything else? I haven't looked at any comments. My bad. I don't know if anybody. No one's commented a damn thing. It's during the day. So anybody out there, good luck. God bless. Grind on. Thanks for watching. I think that's about it. Happy holiday season. I'll be back on here later today. I will be doing the talking about this. I will be recapping this week's NFL. That's what I'll be doing. Drawing a blank over here. I'm free balling all this. No script. Nothing. Go Buckeyes, baby. Let's go. Good luck. God bless. Grind on. And I am out of here.